Yes, Mr. Roosevelt. The more I learn and read and understand what Mr. Roosevelt went through, the greater respect I have. I had an uncle in the Senate, Claude Denson Pepper, from Florida. And Claude tried to get me to come down and work with him, and then he said he would go to the Harvard Law School, then you go on into government, things like that. That didn't appeal to me at the time. But he was Roosevelt's Southern Whip. But there's a book out by a fellow called Glenn Yadon, Y-E-A-D-O-N. And one section of that book deals with the traitorous activities of American corporations during the Second World War. Throughout the Second World War, major American corporations continued to trade with Germany. They had patent agreements with I.G. Farben that were in effect and were acted upon. Prescott Bush had 23 companies he was running. Allen Dulles and John Foster Dulles were behind and legally advising many of these companies for Sullivan and Cromwell, their law firm. So the traitors of America included the Mellon family, the Harriman family, Brown Brothers Harriman, whole J.P. Morgan complex, John D. Rockefeller, his crowd. They were all like this. They really wanted the Nazis to win. And they did everything they could, and they were traitors. And Mr. Roosevelt knew about it. He knew about it because in 1933, a two-time Congressional Medal of Honor winner came to him and said, Mr. President, I have been asked to come to you on behalf of that clique I just talked to you about, including Irene DuPont, the DuPonts. And I've been asked to tell you that you must step aside and be only a caretaker president, and that an executive will be put in to run the country and deal with the Germans. And if you don't, then they will kill you. And Roosevelt looked at him and said, Shelby, thank you for coming. Act of real patriotism. Now here's what we're going to do. He called friends of his, selected friends of his in the media, and he said, now break this story, which they did. And then there was, of course, denials, mock investigation, but it was over. But Roosevelt suffered through this. He had Bill Stevenson, who was sent over from MI6, on a floor above where Allen Dulles worked in Rockefeller Center, and had the whole area where Allen Dulles was wired. And they were gathering evidence against Allen Dulles. He was going to indict Dulles, brothers, Prescott Bush, John D. Rockefeller, Irene DuPont, the Mellons, all of them, because they continued to trade and support. And they, even where they could, organized the bombing, a massive bombing of residential areas in Germany, but not touching factories, industrial areas where the Americans had a joint venture interest.